Okay, are we on? I think we're on. So, assuming if YouTube did everything correctly, then everyone watching the stream, the premiere of the task, should have been linked to now the live stream. So, welcome everyone to everyone who is actually hopping over. And welcome to the after party, I suppose, where I'm going to be now going over it again, I suppose, in a live commentary form, explaining some things in particular detail that just can't really be explained in real time, because it, as you could all see, it gets crazy, incredibly crazy. So again, thank you all very much for watching, and special thanks to May for the $100 donation. So I am counting that in the X amount of minutes of Brawl Launcher taglines. But whole thing is trying to explain everything in my Brawl Launcher voice not going to be particularly easy. So instead, you do not have to do 100 minutes of Brawl Launcher, but it's like I have this whole thing. So what I was thinking, I can either leave that in the queue, or I can explain in my normal voice and then read the taglines that you often post in the Brawl Launcher voice. Something to do with that. And yes, the live stream is going to be made public after I'm done with all of this. I am legally obligated to do Brawl voice for 100 minutes. Oh yeah, before I forget, let me just... Okay, the music might be a little quiet this time. I don't know, it was too loud the last time. Because, go figure, they updated the media player that I use, and now it's dumb. It reset everything and made my playlists incompatible. Whatever. So, basically, we start at the beginning, obviously, but specifically, we start at a specific time, the Wii clock, to spawn a particular sticker. It's the Peach weapon sticker that boosts weapons. And we need to create a save file because the game boots you back out for 100% and you need a save file to go back in. Also, yes, there's no audio because it gets grating to hear it go frame by frame. So, we start by immediately entering Subspace. We pick the hardest category because it's faster, and then, in direct contrast to everything, all of the tasks, all of the speedruns done in the last 10 plus years, we choose Mario this time. Because Mario has an even faster quick kill than Kirby does, in which we bait Kirby into using down special and then use our own down special to knock him off the edge. Also, we do this little running glitch where we run on the edge. You can see the control stick angle is odd. So yeah, then we skip a bunch of cutscenes. Naturally, out of all the 4 characters we have here, we choose Peach because, as you saw, she's completely busted. And so we immediately start by plucking a bomb and then go to town. Specifically, we try to defeat enemies in a way that they hit something else so their corpses despawn immediately. Can I put in Toho music after this? I don't have Toho music in this music playlist. Although the game, the music that's playing right now is from a game that's inspired by Toho. So then we pluck a Stitch Face, and then we get a Cracker Launcher, and that basically just allows us to go to completely destroy everything. cracker launchers are completely insane in tasks. And then we just destroy everything and then pluck another bomb and then it's done. Bullet heaven, you are correct. And so then we get Kirby. And then we make sure to save Peach. For reasons I don't think I need to explain to you anymore. But yeah, we defeat Petey by using Kirby's aerial side B. And then we're done with the level. And now we enter Skyworld and choose Pit because he's the only character available. So, fun fact about Pit, his up B can actually fall faster than his fast falling speed. So I use that. And then I manipulate RNG to pluck a bunny hood, and then run, and then do a bunch of foxtrots to enter the door more quickly. So yeah, then I do this fight, which is basically a series of well-timed hits to cancel landing lag or ending lag with enemies' attacks. So I do that several times before launching myself with an explosion. We reach the first golden cube of the level, or of the game, of which there's a bunch of them. Then we use what's known as the pause glitch to despawn the group. So basically what the pause glitch is, if you pause the game on the frame an ambush starts, the camera, instead of centering out to a main fight area, instead it remains centered on yourself. Which means you can and the camera centered on you still has the blast zones, which means you can basically move far off screen relatively, and then if an enemy is outside of the camera's blast zones, they despawn immediately. So that is used to completely trivialize many fights in the entire game. And so now I fall down to this minor auto-scroller using the same technique I used in the first room. And then I build up a little bit of damage before gliding once that auto-scroller is done. And then I build up a bunch of damage with a technique known as the bounce boost technique. Under normal circumstances, whenever you get hit by an attack that causes knockback, the camera freezes depending on how much damage you have and how powerful the attack is. But if you instead take damage when you're right next to a ceiling or a wall, you're not put in the normal taking damage animation, and so the game doesn't freeze the camera. And so you just fly. So that pause glitch is frame perfect, it's not RNG perfect, it doesn't rely on... Okay, technically speaking, it doesn't rely on RNG, but in real-time play it kind of does because it's reliant on when you start the run or when you start the fight, and it's kind of odd. So, 100% of objectives. I guess I kind of forgot to talk about that. So, the 100% objectives include breaking every gold cube and collecting their items. Just breaking the cube isn't enough. Entering every optional door. So alongside the doors that you enter to beat the level, you also need to enter every optional door that isn't required to explicitly beat the level, including this one right here. You need to save all the characters in the subspace levels. And then you also need to... It's still overpowering me. Okay. How about that? Okay, it should be fine now. So, the gold cubes, secret doors, Great May Orb, subspace, and then the 3 secret characters after you beat the credits. You need to go through the credits. You can't skip the credits on a first playthrough without a previous save file. I've tried! We've been waiting 40 long months for this task to come. Oh no. Thank you, Danny, for being a member for 40 entire months. Falcon glad. Skill issue, really, yeah. So, the thing about this room that I just basically skipped by, it's an auto-scroller, which unfortunately means, I have to go through and waste my time. It doesn't even have any golden cubes that I need to collect, so if I could, I'd just exit it immediately. And so, after we're done with that, we exit. And then we bounce boost with the Glunder. And then to skip the fight, hit a launch pad, and then enter the final room. So yeah, now we enter Sea of Clouds. We get Peach, for reasons I don't need to explain. Count the bombs. We've got 1. I'm going to move the camera a bit so we can actually see her clearly. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 7 bombs in one room. Each of those has a 1 in 240 shot in real-time play. And then we get 2 more. I mean 3 more. We get another bomb from an enemy, which is not a 1 in 240 shot. And then we fly and then enter the room that we can immediately exit. And then 4? 5? That Maximum Tomato was actually important. And then we pluck another bomb. At this point, I'm just losing track. And then we get a Stitch Face, end this fight immediately, pluck 2 more bombs. Like, 1 bomb explodes as I pluck another one. And then I do the pause glitch again, but very specifically for this fight, I intentionally don't use bounce boosting so the camera remains frozen. Because, like the thing about the pause glitch, with the camera remaining frozen, the blast zones remain frozen in one specific spot, which means enemies that spawn underneath or outside, they despawn immediately. So I do that to just lay utter waste to all the fights here. Now the funny thing is, I have just a bit too much damage here, but it just so happens that with that final Glunder that I killed, it drops some food. So I heal just a tiny bit. Just enough. So that the camera doesn't kill me. And that allows me to skip right over the fight. And then enter the door. And then we're done with that level. So now, Donkey Kong. We get a bomb, we get a Super Mushroom that's a 50-50 shot, then we do a bunch of damage boosts. We have to wait for the camera to center back on us before we can do rolling. Donkey Kong's roll is faster than his run speed, especially with the Super Mushroom. Then, I love this part, I cancel my landing lag by charging and then canceling a giant punch, which leaves me with 0 frames of landing lag instead of like 3. Unfortunately, I kind of have to wait. Except, no, I don't really have to wait for the cannon. Never mind. It saves time enough to skip a cycle with the cannon. And then we damage boost to skip another large cannon cycle. Then, in this room, I do a bunch of foxtrots to manipulate a Super Mushroom without needing to pause buffer. So, what the whole thing with pausing and RNG in this game is that if you pause a specific amount of time before an enemy dies, the RNG doesn't advance by a specific amount. So when you pause 1 frame before an enemy dies, the RNG is prevented from advancing twice. For 2 frames, it's 4, and for 3 frames and above, it's 6. And so, but the thing about pausing and pause buffering for RNG is that it wastes 2 frames per pause. Which means, optimally, it's better to get the items you need without pausing at all. And I do that by foxtrotting as Donkey Kong to generate the proper amount of dust, which affects RNG. So then I roll a bunch, break that series of blocks, grab a hidden trophy that's under there, and then I damage boost with the Koopa Troopa to attack on the ceiling, double jump, and then enter the door. And then I can immediately exit. And then I spawn back in the room, damage boost with the Koopa again, break the blockade, damage boost with this Koopa to skip a fight, and then damage boost with this Koopa to enter the door as soon as possible. And so now we enter an auto-scroller where I manipulate a bunch of stickers. Now, you're probably wondering how stickers are involved with 100%. Technically speaking, no stickers need to be collected. And yes, also the Duke. Because I skipped that fight, the rest of the level isn't initialized properly, which means it has the side effect of me seemingly walking on air. I think I'm gonna need more water. Now, you're probably wondering how stickers are involved in a 100% run. The answer is, technically, you don't need to collect any stickers. Only the items that spawn out of the gold cubes, which can contain stickers on lower difficulty. Or trophies or CDs. Now, I still collect stickers and manipulate stickers because they actually power up characters. So I kill a bunch of enemies to manipulate a bunch of stickers in the downtime that this auto-scroller offers. And then I also need to collect a 100% trophy before it scrolls off-screen forever. I then damage boost with the Hammer Bro right up to the door, and then enter it on the first frame that it spawns. Actually, JP Hataraki, I apologize. The Bob-omb stickers do not actually spawn in this level. The first level that they spawn in is the ruins. So I get other stickers instead that are still beneficial. So now, I have to enter another door and collect a gold cube. Now, fun fact, these gold cubes on intense difficulty, they have an 85% chance of spawning a trophy and a 15% chance of spawning a CD. It is faster to exclusively get trophies, because the CDs, for every CD you collect, there's a pop-up at the end during the post-credits. That takes about a third of a second to clear. So every CD wastes a third of a second, which means it's faster to collect no CDs. So after I do that, I exit, and then do the fight. I manipulate a super mushroom from this giant Goomba, and then I manipulate a trophy stand to kill the giant Goomba instantly. CD trophies are acceptable. Yes, you're correct, Jade-64. Do I need to get all enemies using them in turns and trophies, or only trophies that spawn in the level? Only trophies that spawn in the level. I do not need to turn every enemy into a trophy. I believe all trophies is part of the achievements for the game as a whole, but not Subspace. Subspace, you only need to get trophies from the gold cubes. Ugh. And so then that level is done. So then we start with the plains. But before we start with the plains, I'm gonna get some water because I'm gonna be talking like this for a while. I will be right back. Hold on. There we go. Wait. Oh. Sure, that's centered enough. Okay, I'm back. With 3 water bottles. So yeah, now we start off with the plains. We choose Pit instead of Mario as usual because Pit's faster. And fun fact, his fastest form of ground movement is dodge rolling. That's actually the case for a number of characters. Because the thing about Subspace is that they changed the attributes of several characters' jump speed, gravity, running speed, everything else like that. And so that has the side effect of making some characters go faster than their running speed by doing dodge rolls. Aye. So yeah, I do a series of dodge rolls using Pit before jumping and then gliding, and then doing a series of damage boosts. There is a 100% collectible on the very top of this giant block structure. I'll move the camera to show you. There's the gold cube, which I need to break and then collect. And then I fall back down and manipulate another bomb, and then do a little sequence break in which, by crouching and then running off this barrier at the exact right time, I can clip through the ceiling and go out of bounds. And then I explode with the bomb that I manipulated and fall right over, out of bounds, to the door that you need to enter. Hello, CamVR. Ceilings are a suggestion, indeed. And so now in this room, you'll notice that there's a Charmander trophy that I did not pick up. The reason why is because this trophy actually respawns, or the collectible respawns whenever you enter this room. And so it's not required for 100%, unlike several other trophies that are out in the open. That gold cube, however, I did need to break and collect. But that Charmander trophy, I do not. Which means I can just leave it alone. And so then I up B downwards and then damage boost from that Primate and then enter the door. And so now I enter another autoscroller. By the way, this autoscroller can be skipped actually, but I didn't know that when I was making this. I only found out like when this task was almost completed. And so the good thing about this autoscroller is at the very least I can skip a bunch of these fights by using the pause glitch. Because Pit can go really high. So high that he can despawn everything instantly. And so I take care of these first two fights by using the pause glitch. And now I manipulate a bomb from the third fight by charging arrows preemptively. And then I do a float perfect damage boost. Because the very particular thing about this room... The emulator froze, give it a second. So the very particular thing about this room is that the ending trigger was positioned right at the point where the right blast zone is. And the very particular thing is, if you hit an exact floating point perfect position here, you can skip the fight. You can trigger the ending trigger and end the level. And so I do that. And end the fight instantly. My position needs to be precise to like 4 or 5 decimal places, something crazy like that. And so that's the plains. Now we're at the lake, in which we choose Fox. Hold on, my phone. Uh-oh. Hold on 1 second. Okay. And hold on a second. I think I need to update a pinned comment that I made real quick. I think. Even though I could have sworn I did that already. Hold on a second, guys. Okay, no, I already edited that. Never mind. Okay, so, as I was saying, we're back to Fox. Well, we're fighting Rayquaza. And we choose Fox, in which we defeat him by doing a series of back airs and up airs while manipulating his attacks to be as least annoying as possible. Which is to say, none of those attacks where he burrows into the ground or anything like that. Now, you might be thinking, oh, Fox has a reflector. Why don't you reflect that giant energy ball? It deals no damage. Even when reflected, it deals no damage. I tried. It's not worth it. And so now Rayquaza is defeated, and so we just backflip away. Now, the peculiar thing about Fox is that because of those running speed adjustments, his side B is much faster than regular running. And so now I have to go and get a gold cube. I manipulate bombs and then damage boost all the way over instead of just running, as is usually the case. And so here I break a bunch of blocks, do a bunch of jumps that I can partially cancel with the stairs, and then damage boost into the ending door. Here I do a bunch of side Bs, do another damage boost. I use the lasers to break these blocks because they have no hit lag and basically no ending lag. Very cool, the emulator froze again. Come on, buddy. I'm surprised we still have 42 people. Usually everyone leaves. Crash moment. Yeah, that's just the emulator. So here I use the pause glitch to despawn the giant Goomba and some other Goombas. I do a chained series of Goomba stomps while manipulating a bomb, and then damage boost all the way to the end while breaking the necessary block. Fun stuff. I then do a double jump and then do a laser to hit the switch just barely. Now, fun fact, in the any % task, you usually enter this door and then enter the proper door in the other room. Doing that does not qualify. It violates 100%. And I did not know that, so I actually had to go back and task this level like halfway over again. But then I enter this room just to enter that door and then enter here. Defeat the Toto and then enter the door to the other autoscroller. Just waiting for the explanation for the League of Low Tiers in the Lucas Pokemon Trainer level. Yes, this video will be saved and published. So, similar to all the other auto-scrollers, I use this downtime to manipulate a bunch of stickers that will be useful in the future. Specific to this room, I also have to enter a door for 100%, which I do on the first frame possible. And in this door, I use the laser to break the blocks, then do a back air, do a forward air to ascend to the gold block more quickly, and then collect the trophy and then fall back down. I then manipulate a bunch more stickers. Ugh. Also, I need to break a gold cube. Can't forget about that. Also, Funky Kong. I have to manipulate RNG in this room so that I get up a bomb almost instantly. I then do a very particular damage boost so that I clip through the floor partially so that I can enter the cannon. It's not possible to skip this section. It is what it is. And then the very funny thing about this section versus Shadow Bowser is that I intentionally die by Bowser's side, in which he uses side B off the edge. This kills him, it also kills me, but I have the stock advantage, so I win. Omega brain moment. And so now the lake is done. Now we enter the ruined zoo with Lucas. I need to manipulate one more sticker, so I do that here while this auto-scroller plays out. And after that, I just fool around. Ah. I get all the way to 982%, and then I get all the way to 998%. Because I have decided that only Peach gets the title of reaching max damage. So yeah, fun fact. Lucas takes less time to load in than Ness. In spite of that, Ness is still faster in dealing with Porky, in which I defeat him by using a series of edge cancels, PK fires, and down tilts. Because the very particular thing about Subspace is that stale move negation does not exist, which means moves are always at full power. Which means down tilt does something like the equivalent of 0.5% per frame, which is his fastest option outside of edge canceling. And then I finish off with a down smash. And then I just damage boost away. And so now we're back to Lucas. I mean Lucas. In which we use what's called the zap jump magnet pull technique. In which, if Lucas double jumps and then instantly uses PK fire, he goes a lot higher than normal. And then after using PK fire, if Lucas uses his down special, he moves very quickly in the opposite direction. And so I use that often alongside damage boosts and bounce boosts. I use the pause glitch in this fight to despawn enemies. I am perched like right next to the edge of a blast zone here. As you can see, the flow dies immediately. I then manipulate a final bomb and then enter the door. I then zap jump magnet pull over to the fight, in which I use the pause glitch to despawn a bunch of Bitons really quickly. I then use the Glunder to bounce boost over to the ending door. And then I manipulate another bomb all the way over to this optional door where I just collect a gold cube and then exit. And then I zap jump magnet pull over, get a bounce boost from the boomerang pyramid, and then that skips a fight, and then I zap jump magnet pull over to the end. How much water have you guys drunk? And I lost track after the 30th. Yeah, I don't know how many damage boosts we do, but we do a lot. So now we use Marth. Remember that thing that I talked about where several characters' dodge rolls are faster than their run speeds? Well, for Marth, it's just barely faster, but it's faster. So then I do that until I'm able to damage boost. And then, with these sword pyramids, I shield SDI their stab attacks, which has a much higher SDI multiplier than normal, which allows me to teleport functionally. And so then I do that alongside a series of RNG manipped damage boosts over to an optional door in which I damage boost with the Jick, collect the trophy, and then exit. And then I do it again. And then I wait for this guy to spawn. And then damage boost all the way to the ending door. You'll begin to notice a pattern that I do a lot of damage boosting. I then break this or hit the switch with down tilt. I then lure a rotor over to the wall and then damage boost or bounce boost all the way to the end. And now we no longer use Marth because now we use Meta Knight. Who is Meta Knight? I don't need to explain. In which we manipulate a soccer ball, a cracker launcher, other items to just destroy everything. I then finish off these sword primates with Meta Knight's aerial up B, which deals a lot of knockback. Because the thing about sword primates, they have a resistance to slash attacks, which means I can't one-shot them. But I can kill them off of the right blast zone. And so now, we basically completely destroy this level. We skip a fight. We then enter another fight. We enter the first fight to lure these enemies into an auto-scroller. We then end that first fight so that we regain freedom of the camera while the auto-scroller is still going. We also collect a trophy that's out in the open that's required for 100%. And then we bounce boost over another fight trigger all the way to the end. This skips an auto-scroller and a bunch of fights. I then do a bunch of up airs to manipulate RNG to get up a bomb, which allows me to skip the minecart section. I then get the golden Q. Now, the thing about this room is that it would be faster to actually damage boost and everything, but I can't take any more damage than I already have, because that ruins the damage boost in the following room. So I'm forced to do it damageless. So another fun fact, Meta Knights. So in order from largest to smallest distances, Meta Knight's fastest form of grounded movement are his infinite dimensional cape technique, dash attacking, forward dodge rolling, and then regular running. So for long enough periods, I use the infinite dimensional cape. If they're shorter distances, I use a series of dash attacks. If it's even shorter, I use dodge rolls. And then if they're for short bursts, I dash. So then I take care of this fight as normally as all the other ones where I manipulate a bunch of items. This time, including a hothead. And then I damage boost, skipping a minecart. Unfortunately, I'm forced to enter another one. But then, I manipulate another bomb and skip everything. I then infinite dimensional cape over to the ending trigger. I then do the final fight. Oh, did I say do the final fight? I mean skip the final fight. With a damage boost and then a glide. Into the ending door. I mean ending loading zone. And now we're on the forest where we see Yoshi for the first time out of many. Which his egg roll is surprisingly useful. I use the pause glitch here to despawn the enemies more quickly, and then I run, manipulate. Oh, apparently I don't manipulate a bomb here because I need to enter another secret door. Which requires me to just break a gold block, get the trophy, exit. I take some extra damage with the chick. Never understood why some levels end in a golden door and others just end in a loading zone. No idea. So yeah, with this fight, I again use the pause glitch. I'm perched right at the end of the blast zone here before everyone despawns, and then I can move on. I then snipe a Trowlon to get up a bomb, and then I fly over, manipulate another bomb, and then go over to this fight. I have to dodge. I have to spot dodge here to cancel all of my momentum, because if I didn't, I'd just fly off the edge, and I don't want that. So here I use the pause glitch. I get a damage boost from a Primate that's outside of the fight. And then go on. I have to break that ceiling to do a ceiling damage boost, or bounce boost. I then have to wait for that wall area to unblock so I can get the gold cube, its trophy, and then I damage boost to the ending door. Which I then immediately use to damage boost with the fish all the way over to the middle section, where I then damage boost with the shell pod. I then snipe the switch to break that block, damage boost, well, bounce boost again with another fish, right over the ending trigger, well, right over the fight to the ending trigger with a ground pound. Research facility time. Hold on, let me throw my empty water bottles away and then crack open another one. Ow. So yeah, now we do Zero Suit Samus. It's faster to run through and break these blocks than jumping over them. It's faster to dash attack into that elevator. It's even faster to dodge roll into there, but when I tried that, the resulting RNG did not work out properly. So I just dash attack into it. So yeah, I get the gold cube there with her side B, manipulate a bomb from the Rob, and then damage boost to the ending door. Thank you, Venom. 8 months. And now we choose Pikachu. I sort of forgot to mention, we choose the PAL region of the game to test this on because it has some version-exclusive death warps. Everything else is purely cosmetic, and one of those cosmetic changes is, for some reason, capitalizing all of the Pokemon, every letter in a Pokemon's name. So Pikachu is in all caps now. So the thing about Pikachu is that he has access to this movement technique called the Quick Attack Cancel, which allows him to move incredibly quickly in comparison to everyone else. As a side effect, though, he's a lot more complicated to task, because the quick attacks that he does are precise to individual units on the control stick, which means I have a lot of precision. As you can see, like usually the HUD on the top left is usually, left, up, down, right. This is now displaying the individual units on the control stick. And so, alongside the quick attack cancel being fast already, I edge cancel them to be even more fast. And here, I use the pause glitch to deal with this fight more easily. It is possible to skip this fight, but if I were to skip this fight, I would need to skip the fight again on the way back. And as it turns out, it's slower to do that than just dealing with the fight here and then being able to skip all the way to the end. So I use the Buckets attack to damage boost all the way up to there, get the gold cube, get the trophy, blah, blah, blah. And then I do it again while grabbing the key, canceling my knockback with the launch pad, unlock the door, and then do a little unintended sequence breaking to hit that red switch with Pikachu's Thunder. It's also possible to skip with Zero Suit Samus using her up special. So then I manipulate another bomb from the Rob and then damage boost all the way to the end. I then do another series of quick attacks into the door, which now we're in another auto-scroller, which I use to build up as much damage as possible. Okay. So yeah, I damage boost all the way up to those glunders. I manipulate a bomb from one of them, just kill the other one, and then damage boost all the way to the end even more quickly than the any percent task. I then manipulate another bomb, bounce boost over to this area, and then I damage boost with that thing. And then I perform one of the more crazy bounce boosts in the entire run by bounce boosting with a series of quark mines, doing a bunch of SDI. I hit this wall. I bounce off of that wall. I cancel from that one. I hit this quark mine, SDIing immediately. And then I angle my wall bounce / ceiling bounce DI in such a way as to completely skip this fight while simultaneously quick attacking with the right angle to immediately land and then enter the door. And so that room is done. Now we're on the lake shore, in which we deal with both of these fights by luring the characters off screen to kill them. Kill them now. Do it. How do you even figure out what is the best routes and techniques? Do I just test a lot? Basically, yes. There are a number of things that were already known, so to speak, part in due to because I've been testing this game for like since 2016. But yeah, there are still several things that I have to test. Which is why this run has almost 250,000 re-records. Almost all of them manual. So yeah, I then fooled around in this auto-scroller and used the pause glitch to immediately end this fight, and I'm barely able to make it back. Shoutouts to Brawl's magnet hands. I then bounce around, manipulate up a bomb. Yeah, there it is. So I can damage boost the end more quickly. And now we enter another autoscroller, which... No, I don't use it to manipulate stickers, never mind. I just fool around in it. In which I try checking a trophy stand at a Jick and fail, and then get angry at it. Ugh. So yeah, I also made submission notes for this task. It takes up 36 pages in a Google Doc. 17,000 words. It's something like the 8th longest submission notes for a submission in the entire site. So yeah, then we enter this fight, and when I say fight, I mean we just deal with it instantly. We ground pound into the minecart, which makes Yoshi especially faster than everyone else. We then damage boost a bunch of times with the bomb and then the fish, and then we do it again into this secret door that's actually secret this time. So then I do the whole gold cube. All of these rooms can be explained with the length of a small story. So yeah, I manipulate up a bomb, I grab the key, and then I ground pound into it, which allows me to still hold the key. I then destroy the shade ass, despawn it with the Unira, or however it's pronounced, to unlock another secret door. Am I going to try to get this on GDQ? Maybe. It's basically impossible to explain everything in real time, which I guess is like part of the fun of this thing. So yeah, then after that room, it turns out, I found this by accident, you can just clip through the ceiling here, which allows me to skip like about 4 seconds of platforming sections, even when this fight is more complicated to do than the old task. But I'm able to despawn everything using the pause glitch. And then, that's one final gold cube that I need to break and collect. And now we're done with the lakeshore. And now we're on path to the ruins. Just say, I manipulate bombs and images and let the task play they will get. They will not get it. There are many things that they will not get. So yeah, now we're back with Lucas. I manipulate a bomb, damage boot, build up damage with the Jick enemies, and then launch to skip a fight all the way over to the Gaguma, which I then do a damage boost, and then fall into this pit, which has a secret door. This room contains nothing but a series of 4 trophies surrounded by breakable blocks. I had to route out several possible instances of choices of which trophies to collect. This was the fastest one that I came up with. It's very possible that something is faster, but I couldn't think of anything. This part looks very awkward because of unfortunate positioning of the gold cube. I can't manipulate a bomb from the that enemy. I'm forgetting its name. So I'm forced to just zap jump and do everything like that. So then I damage boost here, manipulate a bomb, launch all the way over, fly all the way up to this gold cube. I then damage boost with the Armite all the way over to this fight, in which I manipulate a super mushroom, and then I manipulate a green shell, which allows me to deal with the following fight more quickly. I damage boost with the green shell, land on the receding platform, edge cancel to regain my action, and then grab the green shell again. I love that movement. Why are those trophies necessary? It's because you need to collect those trophies because they spawn from gold cubes, which you need to break and collect items from, because that's the point of 100%. So now it's this fight in which I destroy all of these Nagagogs incredibly quickly. I then damage boost with the green shell, pause glitch to deal with this fight more quickly. I then damage boost with the bomb to fly right over this fight and then clip through the corner to skip that auto-scroller in that fight. The sad thing is, because of the reverse pause glitch that I found, this section is obsolete. Which is sad. But, oh well, it is what it is. Strats are obsoleted all the time. Any percent auto-scrollers win. It's not considered an auto-scroller anymore, because you can use that fight to skip more than auto-scrollers. So I'm just simply calling it the reverse pause glitch. So now we fight Wario! Gotta win! Except he doesn't win, he dies. Instantly. We also get a Wario pause jump scare. And now we're on the cave, in which we use Yoshi, because Yoshi's faster. I egg roll a bunch, damage boost a bunch. The fight goes about as normally as you'd expect. Let me drink. That hothead is actually important. So yeah, I use the bomb I manipulated to damage it more quickly. I'm able to use a wall bonk to clip through the pillar, which allows me to skip having to wait for it to go back all the way back down and all the way back up. And so then I can just collect the cube and then go back up. Unfortunately, I'm forced to wait for this section. I could not find a way to skip that section, but I did find a way to skip this section. This was found by complete accident. And so I'm able to fall all the way down to the gold cube. I manipulate RNG for another bomb, and then I damage boost all the way to the end. Fun fact, that clip through the pillar is actually one of the very few things that are applicable RTA. Most of the strats that I found are not applicable RTA because they're frame perfect or just insane. Chat won't let me reference that one part in the Wario fight stream. So basically, the thing that I did while tassing and live streaming the task for the Wario fight is that I said, now, if you could please, die now, and then it can be taken out of context, but no. I was talking to a CPU Wario. I was not telling anyone to kill us. No, why would you do that? I was talking about an in-game room. So basically, what happened in that room, I dash attack to grab the key, get damaged by the flame, SDI a bunch, fast fall to unlock the door, and then enter the room. Oh god. There is so much to explain in this task, and we're not even halfway through yet. And now I'm choking on my water. Very fun. Ah. Hold on a second. Oh. Okay. Don't lose your voice. I think that's going to be an inevitability. But it's fine. So here I egg roll a bunch. Damage boost from that Koopa. Into the fight. This fight's technically an auto-scroller because I have to wait for the gliders to roll in. So I do some RNG manipulation, including an Unura. Or Unura, or whatever it is. I still don't know the exact pronunciation. A motion sensor bomb and a bomb. I wait until that glider is dead. Damage boost with the motion sensor. That allows me to clip out of bounds because the rest of the stage's collision is not loaded in yet. And then I damage boost on the wall, which allows me to further move throughout the level. I can't skip this fight, but I still kind of can. I then damage boost with another bomb all the way to this door, and then collect its trophy, and then exit. And then just do a bunch of odd movement to skip the giant Goomba. And now we do what's called character storage, which allows me to continue using Yoshi instead of using Lucas or the Pokemon Trainer. This saves 2 seconds in loading and many other seconds in the actual task because Yoshi is faster. Ganondorf jump scare, yes. Now, crucially, the Ruins is one of the levels that I have to revisit on the way to doing 100% because Wolf's Store doesn't spawn in until after the credits, which means I intentionally skip this trophy. I pick it up on the second revisit, which you're allowed to do. You don't need to collect everything on the first visit. So I don't. So now I enter an auto-scroller. This auto-scroller is the first section in the entire game where I can farm bullfrog stickers to get those very important stickers that allow me to spawn in with a bomb. So I do that. Yes, you are completely correct, the Bookworm. Character storage is able to work because the level doesn't have any cutscenes, and you just immediately start by being able to choose characters. It only works on a handful of levels, and it's only faster in this level. But you are completely correct. It's a frame-perfect glitch. And here I manipulate the vinyl sticker, and so I just fool around at this point. I build up a very particular amount of damage here instead of just going to 999. You cannot skip this auto-scroller. There is no fight preceding this room or preceding this auto-scroller. It just starts off with the auto-scroller. Fortunately for me, there are no sticker farming auto-scrollers that can be skipped with the reverse pause glitch, which means the sticker route is completely unchanged, which is a good thing, because that means I don't need to route anything extra. So yeah, this door I need to enter and exit both for 100%, and because it's actually faster because you can just prematurely end the autoscroller. I then ground pound. And then damage boost with the glider. So yeah, I then enter this section. Its last fight can actually be skipped with the reverse pause glitch, but it's still slower. So I use the pause glitch here to deal with this fight more easily. I manipulate a motion sensor bomb. Why do I always get an error when I click on a YouTube username? Because YouTube hates me! I then do what's called, well, I think it has a name, I'm not entirely sure. But basically, due to Brawl's buffering system, it allows me to do 2 double jumps in one stretch of airtime. Which allows me to get high enough to skip this fight. Lucas has no problem skipping these fights because the zap jump goes incredibly high, but with Yoshi, it's just barely possible using that glitch. So here, with that motion sensor bomb that I picked up, I chuck it at the wall, or ceiling. I then do an up air. No, I do an egg roll to bounce boost. Right as the barrier retracts, this allows me to barely clip out of bounds. But it's not enough to fully get back inbound, so I clip back in. It puts me in idle. And so it allows me to just speed by hitting all the switches. And so then I just go through, revealing a hidden door, breaking it. I collect the trophy and hit the switch with the same up air. That took a decent amount of time to actually do. And so then I damage boost with a row turret and then entered the door to fight Charizard. Even though Yoshi has 2 Meteor Smash moves, his down air and his forward air, at these damages, it's not enough, so I just forward air. And so now we're done with the ruins. And now we play Bullfrog Star Fox command. And Paper Mario Sticker Star, in which I put a Link sticker on the Pokemon Trainer to boost his indirect specials by plus 17, alongside a Tractor Trailer, which boosts his direct special by 14, and then a Ray Mark III, which boosts his weapon by 18. This is entirely so his down Rock Smash for Charizard deals more damage against Galleon. For Pit, I put on a Bullfrog, a King Dodongo, and a Solid Snake. This gives him a Bob-omb, and then boosts it to be incredibly powerful. For Meta Knight, I put a Ray Mark III on, weapon attack plus 18, Musketeer Deltania, Slash plus 21, Electrode, Explosive plus 7, Ho-Oh, Flame plus 12, and a Bullfrog, which allows him to carry a Bob-omb. This boosts his sword attacks, his Bob-omb's power, and then gives him a Bob-omb. For Pikachu, it's the Bullfrog sticker, Entei, Flame plus 20, Boulder, Body Spin plus 32, that's for his neutral air, and then Solid Snake, Explosive plus 19. That boosts his Bob-omb explosive, and his neutral air, which is incredibly useful for the Ridley fight. For Fox, Barrel Train, Leg, Bullfrog, Bomb, King Dodongo, Flame, Electrode, Explosive, which, again, Bomb boost and Leg boost, which is useful for his back air and up air. Yoshi, Skull Kid, Leg plus 20, Bullfrog, Bomb, Solid Snake, Explosive, Bowser Jr., Tail, and then Boundish, plus 7 Flame. And then that's it. For Yoshi, that boosts his up air, and then Leg for his neutral air, and then Explosive, and then it gives him a Bomb. And that is the first sticker application. We do it right before the Wilds because it's right after we are able to get all of these Bomb stickers. And so this is the first opportune moment that I can do. And so then we spawn with Meta Knight. And so then we immediately start by exploding with a bomb, manipulating another one. Freeze the emulator. Haha. Give it a minute. Right into the autoscroller. This autoscroller cannot be skipped because there is no ambush preceding it, unfortunately. I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm back. So, yeah, we go through this first auto-scroller, manipulating a bomb, damage boosting, and then using the rotor to damage boost again into a secret door, in which I damage boost again and collect its gold cube. You'll begin to notice a pattern. So then I damage boost again, get this golden cube, and then I perform what is known as the Cliffier Skippier. Technically it's called Mountain Clip, but I found a better version, so I get to name it. So basically, I damage boost with the Quark Mine. I'm just checking if audio and everything is good. It is. So basically, a damage boost with the Quark Mine, bounce boost with the wall, and then manipulate the camera and everything in such a way, and then up B at this very particular cliff's extension. That basically allows you to just clip right through the mountain, which is why it's called Mountain Clip. But then, in particular, there's two versions of Mountain Clip. There's a weak version that only barely lets you clip through the mountain, but it works well enough for RTA. And then there's a much stronger version that's actually initially too strong. Originally, it actually ends up killing you if the camera isn't positioned correctly. But then I found if you position the camera properly, in this case by delaying the clip for a few frames. Here's the moment of the clip. I just pop out right on the other side. If I did that 1 frame earlier, I would have died. And so that allows me to clip right through the mountain, skipping a fight, and a lot of downtime. And thus, I have decided to name it Cliffier Skippier. Have I caught up with JoJo? No. I'm an anime only. And then, with here, wall exists. Dylan, yo, clip that. So the thing about this room, I immediately bounce boost and fly all the way over to the autoscroller. I cannot make it back on ground, but that's okay, because this is an autoscroller, which means I can scroll through Marth and Ike just to get back to Meta Knight, and then build up a bunch of damage and manipulate up a bomb, and still have enough time to get the next fight set up properly. Ugh. Which I take out the big Primates in literally like one shot with the bomb and then the neutral air. So then I damages. It's very frustrating to say that in all that I tested, I could not find a way to get to this door faster than just doing the intended cannons. I have tried. It just doesn't seem possible. So that said, I do the whole the bread and butter. The bread and butter being damage boosting to the cube, breaking it, and then damage boosting back on occasion. I then damage boost tech on the ground because I couldn't find anything proper. That's thanks to the collision. Go through one final filler room, and then we fight Gallium using Meta Knight. And a bunch of neutral airs and down smashes. Dodging all of his attacks. I also cause him to turn around a few times, which delays his next attack a bit, which is useful. So yeah, now we are done with the Wilds 1, and now we do the Ruined Hall, which is only a boss fight against Gallium again, in which we use Charizard with his boosted Rock Smash sticker to quickly take care of him. Fun fact, I'm able to cancel the Rock Smash with his own attack, and then just immediately go back to doing it. I saved something like 1.5 seconds off of a 10-second fight, which is crazy. Ugh. And so now, we're at Wilds 2. In which we start off with Pit with Yoshi next in line. Because what we do here, we use the single the bomb that Pit is destined to use. We fly right over this fight trigger. Now, the very particular thing is that normally this fight leads into a very slow autoscroller and then another fight. The very peculiar thing, when you skip the fight, normally the camera doesn't scroll beyond a certain point. So it's like if you go as far as you can and then run off, you die and then you respawn right at the beginning. In the PAL region of the game, for some reason, we don't know why, the game instead spawns you beyond the autoscroller and the fight. So we use the PAL region, we get Pit to a particular point and then kill him, respawn as Yoshi way far into the level, so we skip an autoscroller and we skip a fight. And so then we enter a secret door. And then do the bread and butter. And so then we enter back out. I tried so many things, but it turns out that the egg throw is the fastest way of breaking that block while keeping the bomb. It just is what it is. So I do the double jump glitch here to get onto the elevator, move it up, clip through the ceiling. I then bounce boost on this elevator's wall just at the right time to fly to the end. It's so beautiful. I then damage or bounce boost all the way to this wall, manipulate another bomb, bounce boost over this fight into another auto scroller. Then we have to make a slight detour to grab this gold cube. I attack the Spock to get it to attack me, and then we end the level. And that is the Wilds 2. And now we are at the swamp, which we choose Fox again. And then we just do a bunch of damage boosts and everything. So, the very peculiar... I keep on saying peculiar, but it's true. It's very unique. The swamp is one of the 3 levels that you need to revisit. And... so, like, the thing about the forest, all the 100% collectibles are after Toon Link, which means you can't get any of them on a second revisit. For the ruins, there was one of the collectibles. No, actually, technically 2, technically 3 that can be collected after a revisit. With Fox, there's something like 2, and then both of them are better for each different character. So, I used Peach for the revisits. Peach's falling speed is not fast enough to get to here. You need to use Fox. So, I get this gold cube using Fox on the first visit. I then damage boost all the way to the end. And then damage or bounce boost over to this fight. Excluding the reverse pause glitch that I found, you enter this auto-scroller, and you're forced to enter it. Entering the door up above is faster than just letting the auto-scroller play out. But the thing about this door, it's an optional door, so it's required for completion. There's also a gold cube in this level. It's faster for Peach to get the gold cube than Fox, because Peach can spawn the bombs indefinitely. So she can bounce boost to and from. Fox can only do one way or the other because he only has one bomb and he can't regenerate them. So it's faster for Peach to get the gold cube on the second try. And now it's especially the case with the reverse pause glitch that I found. So now here we have a fight with Giant Diddy. Did I say a fight? I mean a brutalization. Is that a word? Where I throw Diddy Kong off the edge. And here we have the emulator freezing again. So yeah, now we choose Fox again. Our damage is reset, so we sort of have to take the regular route using the launch pads. We're able to skip this fight, but cannon cycles prevent it from being as fast as it can be. At this point is where the revisit ends, so any of the 100% collectibles I am forced to collect on this first revisit now, including this gold cube. I am barely able to break it with his side B and then also land on the ground. So yeah, fun fact, I have to... there's a delay between the moment I break the cube and when I can collect the item. So I'm forced to wait a little bit. Fun fact, I enter this door and then glitch the camera a little bit. So yeah, here I break the block, get the cube, and then spawn back in. I then do a very funny moment where I just damage boost all the way to the end through a series of SDIs with spikes. It looks so funny, and it's fast. So yeah, then I start this fight earlier than the old task by side being, You might think that it's slower because I dropped the bomb, but I need to pick up another bomb anyway, because that bomb explodes before this fight starts. So I need to pick another one up anyway. So I check the bomb, that kills 2 paratroopers at once. I kill one Goomba, then the other. I then manipulate my position in such a manner as so that I'm able to kill all 3 of these guys instantly, while also manipulating a bomb from the Bullet Bill to kill the final paratrooper. And that ends the fight, and we start another auto-scroller. This auto-scroller can also be skipped with a reverse pause glitch, which means this level is the only level in the whole game where there's 2 instances of the reverse pause glitch being usable in one level. And so now we're done with the swamp, and now we go on to Research 2. Research 2, which involves Pikachu quick attack canceling a bunch of times. So, interestingly here, I build up a bunch of damage using the Glaciers, and then damage boost. I have to wait for the camera to unfreeze for just a little bit. So, you're intended to hit the switches and then wait for the sections to become available because they become blocked. Here, I hit the switch as I'm flying through. I'm barely able to make it through. In fact, I'm pretty sure Pikachu's neutral air landing lag animation helps in that matter because he just squashes down to nothing. Let me know if the music needs to be adjusted. I feel like it's quiet. I don't know. Quiet in comparison to my voice, I mean. So yeah, with that said, I damage boost. Music is fine. Okay, that's good. Pancake Pikachu for the win. Good. So yeah, I then need to take a detour to enter this optional door, which has the bread and butter, except I don't even need a damage boost here. And then I damage boost to this door, and then damage boost all the way to here. We then have a fight against 2 Dark Samuses, not to be confused with the Dark Samus in Ultimate. I thunder and then hit them with a bomb, which destroys them. I then pick Pikachu because Samus is even slower than Zero Suit Samus. So there's a trophy hidden among this large series of blocks. So I break the necessary ones, collect the trophy, which you can't even see. I then do a series of back airs to make my way over to the spike switch. I damage boost a bunch, bounce boost with the Rob's attack, and then go on. I then completely break the intended sequence of this room by damage boosting, manipulating a bomb from this Simul. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm assuming is it a pun on cymbal? Like the music instrument? Who knows? Regardless, I manipulate a bomb from that guy. I bounce back. I exploit a very particular quirk in the damage boost system, in which if I enter idle animation with knockback and then move around, if I then use an aerial attack, I bonk on a wall. But I'm not in any hit stun or anything. I can act immediately, which means I can jump immediately, grab the bomb as I'm falling down, and then damage boost all the way over to this secret door. It is faster to go this way instead of using thunder to break that portion. And so then I do the bread and butter with the gold cubes. That's now off screen. Pikachu learning wall jumps from Zero Suit Samus. It's a good thing every character has the ability to tech jump. So then I damage boost and skip everything. I don't need to use a single gold platform. Another fun fact, grabbing the ledge is not enough to completely halt your momentum. I still have momentum, but it's not enough to prevent me from going into the door. Now this section is very fun. I'm going to show you, in particular. So basically what I do here is I damage boost and then clip right through this ceiling, which is only possible because of this unlockable door. That's like, it being locked is the reason why I can skip it. It just snaps me up to this floor, which I then tech, and then I hit the switch. It basically means that I don't have to do half of the level. The already short level, which is already sequence breaking the intended path. So then I do a series of bounce boosts, alongside breaking a gold cube and then doing the bread and butter. And then I just enter the door, and then win. I then do a final bounce boost into the door, and then we fight Ridley, who is completely destroyed by RNG manipulating his attack pattern to exclusively do this tail attack, which, due to its properties, allows me to rapidly use neutral airs over and over again. Which, by the way, I powered up using the stickers. So he does it once, and then twice, and then, because of the damage that I've dealt with him, he does it a third time, which is enough to just outright destroy him completely. In no time at all. F. Ridley, the Riddler. And now we choose Captain Falcon in this level. So remember those foxtrots? I might not have explained it. Foxtrots are much faster for Captain Falcon than anyone else. Well, faster in comparison to his running speed than anyone else. So I do that. I dodge one of the Rob's attacks. I damage boost with another one's attacks. I shield drop through the platform. I didn't mean to punch the camera there. And then enter the door, which requires me to grab a trophy and then leave. And so then I damage boost with the rotor, Falcon kick over the gap. I then damage boost with that thing. Is it? I forget that thing's name. The Auroras, I think. Not to be confused with the Aurora Borealis. But then I pause glitch while the camera is perched all the way back, similar to what I did in that Sea of Clouds room to despawn the enemies instantly. I then damage boost with the Rob to enter the door, which I then break and collect a bunch of hidden items. In this part of the country, you're right. And then I damage boost again. I then fight the third ambush of the fight. Large-scale ambush of the game. And so then I just go to town manipulating the bombs, a cracker launcher, a soccer ball. I despawn enemies instantly. The cracker launcher is so powerful. I love it. And then I just go to work. I then manipulate a super mushroom, which is incredibly useful because after manipulating a green shell and then just despawning everyone, I use a reverse Falcon Punch timed in a specific manner so that I'm only barely unable to kill the third Primate, but enough to kill the second one. And that allows it to instantly kill it, instantly despawning it, and ending the fight. And now we're on the Glacial Peak, where we get Brawl Wii menu sound effect again, where we just damage boost a bunch. Whee! So, similar to that ledge getup, not canceling momentum in that research facility 2 part, I need to do a slow ledge getup as an Knight because I have too much momentum. Falcon erase, you're right. And so here I damage boost into the auto-scroller's trigger, which saves a few frames. And so because I have too much damage here, I die. I then respawn as the ice climbers, then die again. Basically, this allows me to reset my damage. And then it allows me to build it up to the right spot. So yeah, now we just fool around in the autoscroller, alongside collecting a gold cube. So yeah, we just fool around here. This auto-scroller is really long, but now it's done. And so now we go through this long room, interrupted by 2 entire, secret rooms, well, optional rooms, in which I do the bread and butter for both. But I bounce boost, I do an up B, I do the same, pause glitch maneuver as Path to the Ancient Ruins and others. So the very funny thing about this room is that, you can go as high as you want through the level as long as you don't touch any platforms and as long as you're not actually in a taking damage animation or getting launched from an attack. So that said, I tech on the ceiling, use my remaining midair jumps to get as high as possible, and then I use my down B to basically stall just enough so that the fight is finished the frame before I touch the ground. If I touched it 1 frame earlier, I would have died. And so then I move right into this section and then skip the intended puzzle, collecting 1 trophy and then another one. I then break one of the metal blocks to reach the ending door more quickly. I love that section. I then bounce boost again all the way up. And then we fight Lucario. Did I say fight? I mean destroy. And so now we're done with that fight. Now we enter the canyon. We are 50% complete. We use Yoshi because he's faster than anyone and everyone else. And then we just go to town. Manipulating blast boxes, super mushrooms. I think we manipulated a green shell at one point. Yeah, there it is. No cracker launchers this time because it's too close quarters. And the bottomless pit. This fight is technically an auto-scroll because we have to wait for several of the gliders to spawn in. The indomitable power of a direct hit bomb, yeah. And so, fun fact, a Super Mushroom tail-powered up Yoshi can kill these big primates on intense with a single down smash. So, the funnest part about this fight, I trophy this one guy, I manipulate this guy to just attack him and fall into the pit, ending the fight immediately. I love that part. And so then, we get Snake. I would love to do a Snake impression, but, my voice is, slowly dying. Fun fact, I save a few frames over the 80% task by dash attacking into the door instead of doing the dash attack cancel up smash as seen here. So fun fact, originally several other characters dash attack cancel up smash or dacuses or whatever they're called would be faster than their running speed. But the thing about Subspace is that they reduced their jump squat times by several frames. And due to mechanics that I still don't know why entirely work, some characters cannot perform dacuses. Sheik cannot perform her dacus, but Snake still can. So it's used alongside damage boosts. I unlock the secret door by hitting a switch that's hidden. I don't get hit by my own C4 because I'm still invincible from that other primate's punch attack. And so then I do the bread and butter. I then damage boost, and then damage boost. And then we use Meta Knight. Unlike the 80% test, I am forced to actually traverse the room slightly, in which I need to go to a hidden door to do the bread and butter. I hit the gold cube as I'm damage boosting towards it, so I don't need to wait for it to spawn. I can just collect it and then immediately damage boost back. But then after this, I use the Mach Tornado to get into the right position and then damage boost all the way back to the start, which then allows me to clip through, because they did not put a ceiling where they should have. Yeah, it's because Snake has a 9-frame jump squat. Sheik, meanwhile, has, like, what, a 3-frame jump squat already, so it's, like, turned into 1 or something like that. So then, in this fight, I just completely brutalize it. Super mushrooms, green shells, a soccer ball. I have to wait for some enemies to spawn, which is why I'm able to set up, kill the auto lance immediately, and then enter the door. I'm then able to bounce boost all the way over to the ending door. And then I have to go and get this gold cube, break it. I manipulate a bomb from this enemy. I'm then able to manipulate a bomb and then damage boost. For some reason, you can move slightly into a ceiling when you damage boost, but that's a good thing because by moving in a frame-perfect manner, I'm able to clip through the barricade and then sequence break the entire room. I then fight Zelda and Peach, and then destroy them. And so that fight is done. We then... Also, fun fact, I accidentally collect a sticker. I think at some point during the at some point during the halberd interior fight before the room where I skip everything. But because of the time that it would take to redo that section, the time that it would waste to actually skip that sticker, and because of the not that large amount of time that it actually wastes to scroll through it, it's faster to just leave it alone. So now, this is where the fun begins, where we use Peach and then just the bomb explode, bounce boost, damage boost everywhere. It's a massacre. I am so happy that this glitch exists. So, the very funny thing about this room is that it has a 100% secret in the form of this crack in the wall that can only be broken by indirect attacks. You're intended to wait for the Quark Mine to get into position before breaking it, but you can also break it with Sheik's up B and Peach's down B. So I do that to unveil a cube, damage boost with the Quark Mine, bounce boost, and then cancel my actions in such a way as to remain actionable, and then I collect the trophy right as I'm about to fly away. I then manipulate another bomb, damage boost with the Quark Mine, hit the switch, and then enter the room. I'm then able to manipulate a bomb instantly to get to this room as quickly as possible, and then I manipulate a Stitch Face to make utterly insane quick work of this room. Super Mushroom, Soccer Balls, yada yada. I then heal a little bit, thinking that it would actually be useful. It's not, but it doesn't waste any time either because of the amount of damage that I have. So then I manipulate another bomb. So this part. So I damage boost all the way up to that section. At this height, I'm sorry for the camera spam. At this height, Peach's full jump isn't enough to get the gold cube in range. So what I do is take advantage of a quirk in the camera system in which normally it moves forward like, with you, but then if you turn around and go in the opposite direction, it lags just a bit in the direction you were going in before following you again. So what I do here is, at the extent of my full jump, I fast fall. So what this does is the camera moves up with me, it then lags a bit, moving upwards slightly as I fast fall, and before moving downwards. This extra little boost is just enough to get the gold cube to spawn. You notice it's not there, but then it's there. It barely works. So then I break the gold cube, I manipulate a bomb, I collect the item, I then damage boost. I have to burn several frames to manipulate another bomb right here as I'm falling off, but it's necessary, as I can just damage boost right to the end. Ah, it's crazy. Yeah, the cube just spawns into existence. It's not supposed to be visible, but I used Dolphin's free look to spawn it in. So now we're at Battleship Halberd Bridge. Now that we've unlocked Peach, we can do the rest of the sticker application. I sort of skipped all the others, but you can look at the task videos link that might be in this one's description. Yes, DeRoach for Captain Falcon's electric attacks. But basically, they improve characters. So now, with Peach, we get to choose her. And then, destroy Duon. Completely. And then, just for fun, we manipulate RNG to pluck two bombs. Now, it's funny. In the old any percent tasks, the brute forcing Lewis script that I had required me to repeatedly load a save state over and over and over again to simulate killing an enemy on different frames. Thank you, Eon, for finding out how the item drop system actually works in more explicit detail, which allows me to make a Lewis script. I will show an example right here. That allows me to just simply predict when items will appear. So, for example, here's an example. So basically here, I have a list of the important items, including how far away they are from the current frame's RNG value. So, for example, the next bomb that's due to spawn if I use my down B at the right time is 38 RNG values away, which means I need to wait 38 RNG values. Yeah, I guess it's only in the uncommentated video. I'm sorry. Let me get that real quick. Okay, here we go. I apologize for that. I love how I'm passive-aggressive in, the people sort of begging for, like, a live commentary video. This is a live commentary video. It's not scripted, but it's live. Okay, there we go. I added it. Again, I apologize. So, basically, how that Lewis script works... it tells me how far away key items are from the current frame's RNG value. And so I simply need to wait that many frames for it to spawn. Technically speaking, there's a little bit more nuance because the RNG changes in between frames. So instead of waiting 38, it's something like 36. I need to wait for the value to be 4, for example. And then during character fights in the Great Maze, it needs to be 6. But then it simply... It works well enough. It worked. It saved so much time. So then we use Pikachu. This room is one of the more unique ones in comparison to 80% because there are so many optional doors that are not mandatory. So I do this fight, destroy it. I despawned that sword primate instantly, similar to how I despawned the metal primates in Paths of the Ancient Ruins. This allows me to break the gold cube frame 1 with the same down air. And so I collect the trophy and then go all the way to the door. Okay, this part is absolutely hilarious. So basically, if we move the camera around, there is... yeah, I guess it's right here. So there's a door that spawns right here that you're supposed to break the blocks that block the path and then hit the switch. Using quirks in related to collision with the elevator, similarly to how I clipped through the elevator the first time in this room, I damage boost, clip through the corner, I tech on the blocks, use a back air, you can see by Pikachu there, that unlocks the door, and then I enter the door. It's so good. And then this room. This room. You're supposed to fight 2 Armanks, I believe, but using the pause glitch, a bounce boost, and a very unique quirk in the Armank's collision points, or the fact that it even has collision at all, I am able to pause glitch, bounce boost, hit that thing's collision, damage boost all the way up, and despawn the enemies instantly. Without needing to even fight them. I love that part. I then quick attack cancel all the way over to this section. I need to defeat all of the Robs in order to unlock its door. So then I defeat them. This room, by comparison, only contains a gold cube on the top of this platform, which I am barely able to spawn in, and then I fast fall back down. I then do a final quick attack all the way over, and then damage boost in a very particular manner to be able to enter the door as quickly as possible. If I did anything differently there, I would have died. I then use the pause glitch here to despawn enemies off screen better, and then I quick attack into the ending trigger. This entering the ending trigger, this quickly has a unique side effect of preventing the fade out from actually working. And so now we are at Subspace Bomb Factory 2. Where I use Captain Falcon in a series of damage boosts, bounce boosts, Falcon kicks to enter the fight. I then take out the fight using the same general strategies, including knocking out the Auto Lance with the Metal Primate. I then damage boost all the way to the door. And I do a fun little thing where I moonwalk off of the edge. This is invisible without moving the camera. So then, this gold block is very unique, is that it's off camera originally, but I break it and collect it and then enter back. And so then I have to wait for this auto-scroller to be done. I damage boost all the way over to the ending door. And then we enter the next room, which involves hitting 3 switches to unlock another door. I manipulated a bomb, I think by accident. But it works out because I can hit the switch as I'm falling down already. I then move to the right, use the Buckets attack to damage boost, hit the switch, bounce back. I cancel my running animation with the ladder, and then I'm immediately able to down smash to kill the Rob Sentry in one hit, manipulating a bomb, and skipping the fight. I hit the switch, and then I need to up-B over to this secret door, in which I do the bread and butter. I then spawn back in, damage boost over the trigger a second time, and then enter the door. I then bounce boost over, SDI with the flames a bunch, still keeping the camera active and unfrozen because I'm still in the wall bounce launch animation. All the way over to this cube, which I break and then Falcon Kick and then move on my merry way over to here. I then damage bounce boost all the way over to here. I trigger this auto-scroller without triggering the platform because it's possible to do. And then I show it's possible to get through it as Captain Falcon anyway. With a series of frame-perfect SDI inputs and then wall jumps, double jumps, etc. And so then I do the pause glitch to despawn all the enemies more quickly. I'm in a unique situation where I'm in an out-of-bounds area, which I use to not need to get the key that you're normally supposed to collect. Now, another fun fact, normally you can skip like this entire auto-scroller, but there's invisible ceilings and walls that block your way. So unfortunately, I need to do the auto-scroller and the fight, but I still don't need to collect the key. And now we have the final large-scale ambush of the game, which I destroy, manipulating cracker launchers, super mushrooms, bombs, other crazy things. Defeating enemies by knocking them into other enemies or other related items. I destroyed 2 Nagagogs in one single shot by making them drop on the bombs. And then I do it for the third one too. And then I just go to town. I killed 3 sword primates with a single up tilt. I almost killed the Armake with a single knee. I then kill this Armake in a single frame by throwing a trophy stand at it right as a bomb explodes. Absolutely insane. And so then time to explain a bunch of things again. So, this upcoming auto-scroller skip does exist in all of the other regions of the game. But the issue is that while with the other versions of the game, the camera doesn't freeze on a particular location, in the PAL version, it does. Which means even though I can skip this auto-scroller using Captain Falcon with the help of the Bullfrog, the bomb that he has, in the PAL version, he dies off camera because the camera refuses to scroll any further than when the auto-scroller would originally begin. So instead, I have to use Rob, who can also skip the fight, basically as a sacrifice fly. I skip the fight, auto-scroller, die off camera, and then instantly spawn as Captain Falcon off, like, way beyond the auto-scroller. That's why I do that. I then drop the bomb, SDI a bunch with the Cork Mine because it's faster than its falling speed, and now I'm forced to fool around because, unfortunately, I tried a bunch of things. This auto-scroller cannot be skipped, as far as I know. I have to collect a trophy here that's off-screen, but then I damage boost all the way to the end. So then I damage boost and then fight Ridley. Fun fact, Meta Ridley has a 1.2 times damage weakness to electric attacks, which means Captain Falcon's knee does something like 30% in a single hit, which is incredibly insane. And so I finish him off basically in under 10 seconds, I think. Rip Ridley times 2, you're keeping track, good. And so now we enter entrance to Subspace. Funny. I use Captain Falcon initially because he loads in more quickly, so I start this fight and end it. I then switch to Meta Knight and then to Peach, because as it turns out, Peach is incredibly fast in this level. Although, as it turns out, this auto-scroller is unoptimal, because you can skip it with a reverse pause glitch. But I didn't know that at this time, so I still save over 12 seconds in comparison to Meta Knight by doing a crazy amount of RNG manipulation to take out the generators on the first possible frame that I can. So I manipulate 1, 2, 3, 1 Stitch Face, 4 bombs, 1 Stitch Face, 2 Stitch Faces, and then another bomb. And then I bounce boost in a very particular manner to just fly right over and then just skip all of the fight. Completely insane. And so now we're at Subspace 1, which is completely different in comparison to the 80% task. We also get the introduction of King Dedede and the hyperspeed waddling technique, otherwise known as the jet hammer glitch. Wait, I have them around. Forced around. Whatever. So basically, I have to save all of the characters now, alongside the single gold cube that's in this level. I think. Is it 1 or 2? I forget. Regardless, I use the hyperspeed waddling glitch, jet hammer glitch, to basically waddle around quickly, more quickly than his running speed. And then I also use his actually surprisingly superior vertical movement to get through the level faster than Luigi or Ness could do. I love this part because I can hyperspeed waddle just barely faster than the cubes breaking. So here I save Donkey Kong, damage boost into a room, perfect shield the cork mines. Fun fact, you're intended to use any of the 3 characters' projectiles. Luigi has his fireballs, Ness has a bunch of things, and then Dedede has his side B. All of those can break the cork mines without needing to get in any danger. But instead, I just use the perfect shield. So here I hyperspeed waddle, unleash it on a puppet, damage bounce boost from that puppet's attack, grab someone, and then enter the door. I then save Diddy and Captain Falcon, and then Mario, and then I fight Bowser, and then so on and so forth. So yeah, Bowser is done. So yeah, now we enter Subspace 2. Oh god, my voice is dying. And so now we have to save a number of other characters. Most importantly, Peach. But then we also have several gold cubes that we need to collect. Amusingly enough, this gold cube contains a CD trophy. In spite of my insistence on not collecting CDs. Don't worry, this CD trophy does not waste any time. So here I use the pause glitch. It's technically an autoscroller because I have to wait for the Armite to spawn. And so here now, I just fool around. This auto-scroller can be skipped, but not in 100%. Because Rob only appears once you beat the fight that spawns after the auto-scroller is done. So skipping the auto-scroller means you skip the fight, which means you skip Rob, which means you are no longer doing 100%. So I pause glitch the fight to make it go by more quickly, and then I save Rob as quickly as possible, and then enter the door. And so then I damage boost in a very particular manner to fly all the way over, save the ice climbers, damage boost some more, get a bomb, damage boost all the way over, save Snake, damage boost with the road turret, killing myself, but pause glitching so that the camera is way outside the boundaries. This allows me to not spawn the Gagimas, which take a lot of time to be defeated. Then I save Wario, and now we are at the Great Maze, which is the longest level in the game. You know the story by now. I use Peach, I damage boost and bounce boost everywhere. So yeah, I have to take not as much damage in these beginning sections, so a skip in the future actually works. And so it's sometimes lost in comparison to the 80% test, but it's fine. So here we damage boost all the way over to this gold cube. I damage boost with the Glunder. Because of electric attack's interesting property, I keep all of my action, which means after damage boosting, I fast fall all the way over to the door instead of just doing idle. So then I damage boost all the way over to Kirby, and then fool around. I then damage boost over to this 100% objective. This damage boost with the Glunder is incredibly precise, because if I'm any more to the left, I hit the wall when I don't want to. If I'm any more to the right, I damage boost in the improper direction. But I barely manage to find a situation where I damage boost in an SDI, not immediately into a wall, which allows me to fly up to the Lynx room. Now I enter the forest section. I enter this room because it's necessary now because of 100%. Now this room is very peculiar because, first I need to explain this. So 100% in the Great Maze is only counted if you enter a particular room once. It does not matter what door you enter, as long as the room is entered, it is counted for 100%. Now, these two forest rooms are interesting in that they're two parts of the same room. All of the different doors are all part of the same big room. Which means I can damage boost over, and then do a very particular clip through the ground, thanks to the interesting geometry of this level, in which it's like the game doesn't really want to put me in like this section to the right, because it's like this ceiling is too like low to the ground. I'm moving so fast that this wall section is not enough to contain me. So basically, I bounce on here, I end up clipping through the corner, and then I'm somehow able to tech on the wall from the inside. This allows me to enter right back out on this side, in which I pluck a turnip, break that block to manipulate the future room, and then enter the door. This saves like 4 seconds. And so then I just go through the room, damage boosting and everything again. I reach Yoshi. I pluck 2 Bob-omb. Well, I pluck one other Bob-omb after throwing the other one. I then SDI in the form of a square before launching away. Ugh. And so then I damage boost back outside. And then yada yada so forth. I need to use the bathroom again because I've been drinking so much water. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back again. So yeah, that was the forest, which is an incredible feat. How do I even square SDI? Skill issue. So then if I Diddy do the double bomb strat. Unfortunately, there is no triple bomb strat. Because characters at most only need 2 to be destroyed as optimally as possible. So I have to enter a door for 100%, and then I make my way down towards Captain Falcon and Olimar as quickly as possible. Double bomb, slap him. So that slap is actually optimal. I should explain that. Because the slap, or Peach's up B2, which I also use, it resets the SDI counter timer, but then it doesn't reset the knockback, which means, like, with the amount of damage that these bombs are dealing, the amount of SDI-able frames that they're in is incredibly high, which means jabbing them, I reset the amount of time that they're frozen, which means they die sooner. So in this room, at my percent, it's just barely possible to not damage boost on the left side and then tech on this wall. So I had to go through it normally. It saves, it loses 2 seconds in comparison to the any percent task, but it doesn't matter. This is 100%. So then I destroy Olimar, do a very particular damage boost. That took a while. And now we're back. Backtracking. Right over to do one. I'd like to just let this go by because my voice is tired. Ugh. Don't overextend yourself, I'm trying. So yeah, it's basically the same story everywhere in the Great Maze generally. You use Peach... Hold on. You use Peach, okay, that elevator clip, though, is very fun and incredibly frame perfect. But it's generally the same story. You damage boost everywhere as Peach, you destroy all the characters, destroy all the bosses, enter the doors, optional doors and non-optional ones, and then you break the gold cubes, collect their trophies, and then it's like, eh. So yeah. And then Peach just gets to fly everywhere. Why hasn't anyone? Whatever. Just in and out of a quick adventure. It's not even the length of a movie. There's the square SDI again. You want to talk about a play around? So yeah, I then... So this room is fun. So I have to manipulate a beam sword to hit that switch because the bomb doesn't... The bomb's explosion doesn't hit. God, that was... So basically, I manipulate a beam sword as I'm sliding around, and then I'm able to quickly reach the door and then enter it, and then enter right back out. So I need a beam sword there. The beam sword is optimal. Also here, I just casually clip through the block and enter out on the opposite side. Here I manipulate RNG incredibly quickly to just do a series of bomb explosions to reach the other side. And then, bye Porky. And then I manipulate beam swords for fun. I then go back to Donkey Kong specifically. I'm able to clip through the wall here and actually land out of bounds here which is fun. So this room. Because of Peach's falling speed, she can't fall faster than the wind, which means I can't bounce boost immediately from the start, which means I have to damage boost here, pluck up a bomb, wait for the camera to zoom back in, and then damage boost here, landing on one of the platforms and then entering the door. And then we fight Donkey Kong. Fun fact, I live streamed this part and it took 2 hours for me to get the proper RNG for everything. But it worked. And so then it's like, oh, Samus is dead, Pikachu is dead, it's like everyone's dying. This task took 8 months to make, by the way. Eight entire months. It would have been faster if I didn't have a job, but I do have a job. So this section is actually simply incredible. Well, I was going to say the next section, but this section too, because I drop the bomb and use my up B to just barely be able to damage boost while also hitting the switch. It's not a damage boost in this room. So, fun fact, I manipulate RNG in that room and this one just so the RNG in this room could be properly done. So what I do the bomb bounce boost thing. I manipulate RNG to pluck a bomb here all the way over to the first gold cube. I break it. I do the bread and butter. I collect it on the first possible frame. I then move over here, pluck another bomb, damage boost. I then pluck another bomb, and then break the cube, collect it, and then I hit the switch and then enter. That took something like 2 days. 2 entire days of tasking to make. And then Rob is dead, and then I just teleport all the way back down. And then we fight Ridley. Bye. Ridley counts up to 3. And now we fight... No, not Mario. We go through a section and then we fight Bowser. After collecting a gold cube. After plucking another bomb. Gotta love it. Bowser dies in 2 bomb hits. Bye, LMAO. And so then we damage boost all the way through, and then we not auto-scroller this auto-scroller by damage boosting a bunch. Bowser didn't get to kidnap her this time. Except he kinda did at the lake shore. And so we say hi and then bye to DDD. And then we use a series of Fayish damage boosts to quickly grab the cube and then enter the door. And then we destroy Falco. Bowser kidnapped her petrified body. I mean, yeah, that's arguably even worse. And so then we do the 100% objectives in this room, which involves the immediately active animation nonsense that I talked about in Research Facility 2. And then damage boost over to the door. And then damage boost past the first cannon, immediately enter the second one. And then we fight Fox. Sorry. So we enter this cannon first because it's like legitimately quite fast to skip everything like that. And then we bounce boost on this corner, angling ourselves in a very particular way before just jumping and then skipping everything except for the minecart. It saves a second over the any percentage. Pachinko Peach. So then we fight Meta Ridley. Meta Ridley's gone. Ridley count 4. And so now we fight Mario. And now we're into the wild section where we eventually fight Gallium. Not the domestic abuse, oh no. Very fitting that the Wilds theme is now playing in the stream playlist. So yeah, we just do, again, a series of damage boosts and everything. We do a bunch of pauses to manipulate RNG. I have to manipulate RNG a bit more to get a final bomb, but it's still faster than the old test. And then we fight Gallium. Never mind. And then we spawn a bunch of Mr. Saturns because we can. Fun fact. So if we zoom in past the black screen, I spawn in so many bombs. No, Mr. Saturns. That I can't spawn anymore. I'm holding an empty object because I spawned in too many bombs. And so now we're in the ruins section. In which I skip the elevator by moving it downwards before bounce boosting. So then we bounce boost. And then we double bomb Charizard. I have to manipulate RNG very specifically in this room so that it actually goes properly. And so here, I damage boost really quickly. Bounce off of the wall. Tech, well no, not tech, just hit the floor to regain action. And I back air. I fall off. I do another double jump. I pause buffer to pluck up a bomb instantly, as soon as possible. I dodge this guy. I then throw it upwards, and I'm barely able to clip above the ceiling to collect this trophy. It's just barely possible. I then manipulate RNG again, and then damage boost again, and then manipulate RNG again, and then damage boost again. And then enter the door. It's crazy how much that took. That took me a day and writing an entirely unique Python program. But it worked. Until then I fight my doppelganger, and by fight I mean completely destroy. And so now we float back over, doing bounce boosts when necessary, and then I boost over. Seemingly clipping through everything. I clip through the elevator to fly all the way up and then damage boost from the Primate's attack to immediately enter the door. Also, we say bye to Wario. Which is fun. I then damage boost here, manipulate the bomb, manipulate another one, and then fall. And then fight Luigi. Goodbye. And then manipulate 2 beam swords. And then immediately come back in. I use a side B to move in the air more quickly this time. It's the only case where it's actually faster. I have to pick up a golden cube and then drop it and then do a bunch of more damage boosts. Do a glide toss, turn to throw to damage boost, and then enter the door with Rayquaza again and then defeat him easily. Goodbye. We are near the final area. It's like he's defeated, he ascends into the sky like the rapture's happening, then he falls right back down and then croaks. So with this room, it looks very weird. So basically what I do, I damage boost first, like all the way up here. I manipulate a super mushroom. I exploit the ladder crawling animation to get beneath this jick, bounce boost off of it to maintain the camera. I then damage boost upwards, bounce boost upwards a bunch, and then into the door. This is like several seconds faster than the previous best. I then do the tube bomb maneuver on Popo exclusively. I roll into the trigger for the launch pad, and then I do a bunch of forward airs to move me forward a bit more. I get a Stitch face turnip to destroy that blockade more easily, and then I back air into the door, basically. Here, I do a very new and faster damage bounce boost to reach the door, something like 5-6 seconds faster than the old task. And then I damage boost again into this area, and then I do a bunch of series of RNG manips and then damage boosts all the way over to Marth's room? Yeah. Moving in his direction while SDIing before flying off in a completely different one. And then I boost everywhere again. All the way over to here as I drop the bomb, grab the key, and then fly all the way over. And then here we have Ganon, who's defeated, and then we have Taboo, who's also defeated. And then we watch the credits. Yay. And that's it. Fun fact, I drop it, I up throw it, I'm able to just barely manipulate another Stitch face as Taboo teleports to my location. So I'm able to finish off just incredibly quickly. I am fast forwarding through this now, because nothing else but the credits. In fact, you can actually move the credits with the C-stick. I decided not to, because I thought that it looked odd, too odd. Hooray, we won. Except not quite, because we still have, like, 2 gold cubes we need to collect and then 3 unlockable characters. So, yeah. Credits roll, yada yada. Come on. Sorry to say, but, like, I have somewhere to be, like, tonight, so I'd like to get this by real quickly. So yeah, now with the save file, I go through all of the post-credits achievements. This is as few achievements that you can get generally as possible, with the exception of one of them that says, oh, you beat the game on Intense. But Intense saves so much more time that this third of a second blurb doesn't mean anything. So yeah, I hop back in and go to the forest. And then damage boost a bunch with Peach again, because she's still being used. And then fight Toon Link, which I destroy using Stitch Face. Goodbye. Involving a bunch of Z-drops and float cancels and everything like the bosses, except now we're using it on actual characters. And so then we're in the ruins, as I manipulated RNG prior to get me a good seed, like that. barely able to collect the cube, and then I'm immediately able to bounce boost everywhere. Auto scroll, I'm just gonna skip by this because it's nothing. Man, I'm tired. So yeah, then I exit back out, and then I just fall down a bunch before SDIing into Wolf's door. Because similarly with Captain Falcon, Peach's SDI is much faster than her falling speed. Wait 50 hours for the stage to load, all to destroy him within a few seconds. Goodbye, Wolf. And then we enter the final room. The swamp. And then I found the reverse pause glitch, and then that turned everything up on its head. So yeah, now we found out how the reverse pause glitch works, which means I can skip the initial autoscroller just to enter the door immediately. Unfortunately, the autoscroller fixes itself on the way back. May this be improved in the future? Absolutely. I found a game-breaking glitch that saves at least a minute. But I did not start all the way over because I was literally done. And so it's like, why scrap it when I'm literally done? So yeah, we fight Diddy Kong, we damage boost over to the fight. We have to do the fight now because I have too much damage, which is fine, because I can just check the bomb, use the pause glitch, and then float all the way over to Jigglypuff, and then we just defeat her, and then we're done. Bye, Jigglypuff. Goodbye. Yeah. And then that's it. And there we go. That's 100%. In an hour 19 or something like that. Who added me? So yeah, with that said, I'm done. I'm gonna log off now. I don't know when I'm gonna live stream again. But yeah, thank you all very much for watching the premiere of the 100% task. Thank you all very much for watching the commentary reveal stream. Hope you all enjoyed, and I will catch you all later.